A group of wealthy adventurers sits around the yawning portal tavern. As some tell tales of their adventures, others gamble. After drinking their last drinks, they turn to the barkeep. "Drop us!" they yell as the barkeep lowers them into the depths of Undermountain. As the crowd of bar patrons all place bets on their fate, a deranged wizard lets out a haunting cackle as they sink down to the depths of Undermountain. Hello, I'm Dr. Whittlesticks. After recently talking to a drow friend of mine who descended into Undermountain, a 23-level dungeon ruled by the well-known Halaster Blackcloak, they informed me of all the different trials and tribulations they went through. So I paid a merry group of adventurers to go on down there, and after collecting the life insurance, this is what I was able to find. First of all, they gave me this little parcel. What's inside of it? Is this a sending stone? I'll give it a call. One minute. Hello? This is Dr. Whittlesticks. Who is this?
Who dares interrupt the great Halaster? I am so tired of you needless adventurers not minding your own business. If you don't mind, I have things to get.
That aside. First, in the history of Undermountain, what was it like before Halaster and his 7 apprentices arrived? It was the home of the Malarkin dwarf clan. The dwarves lived fine lives, so the Mad Mage and his apprentices wiped them out. I refer to Halaster as a Mad Mage, which is something that you should never do in his presence. Halaster hates that nickname and believes there is no way to show respect to such an impressive wizard. In the book, it has a table of goals that Halaster wants to get done. Halaster is doing all these goals at once, but once he discovers the party, he'll try and interweave his goals with the party to get what he wants done.
Hang up on Halaster Blackcloak. Once I destroy Izad and clear out those pesky drow, I will go to your home and rip out your...
Back to what I was talking about. Go on, clear house. Halaster's dungeons will always be plagued with creatures and beasts and whatever this is.
Kill me!
Ew. Gross. But currently, a pair of drow houses are warring in the depths of the dungeon. Only a few levels down, a tribe of mind flayers are fending off an army of Githyanki. Halaster sees the party as a way to kill and get rid of these annoyances. Halaster is careful, though. He only wants one part of the conflict to be destroyed. When it comes to a drow, Halaster wants to see House Avendar destroyed, and sees them as a parasite on his wonderful dungeon. But House Feach is mostly seen the same way as House Avendar, but Halaster is interested in making Driven Fetch one of his many apprentices. Go to destroy Izad. In the book, get ready to hear that phrase a lot. Izad just kind of appears with little to no backstory or true power, so let's change that. Izad was part of an adventuring party who worshipped Azu, a god of knowledge, and ascended the multi-level dungeon after getting wind of a cult of Shar. They went down, and they died slowly over time. Only Izad and his father Ogelia remained. They finally reached the cult of Shar, but the two of them were swiftly defeated and chained to the altar to be sacrificed. Unknown to the adventurers, Halaster had been watching them, and before they were sacrificed, he appeared and brought them to his wizard tower. He nursed them back to health. To nurse Izad and his father back to life, Halaster had to sacrifice him his own life force to help them. After the two were healed, Halaster offered Izad an apprenticeship. Ogelia advised against it, and Izad declined Halaster's offer. That enraged the wizard. Halaster killed Ogelia in front of Izad while he fled from his wizard's tower. Izad took refuge in level 20, where he started living with a colony of Myconids, along with meeting a pet pseudo-dragon. Izad wanted revenge on Halaster for killing his father, and became a lich so he wouldn't die of old age, while Halaster wants to kill Izad to return his life force and sees him as an irksome brat who has no idea what he sacrificed for him. Go free, strike fear into heroes' hearts. I'll level with you. This goal is stupid. Halaster knows that sending adventurers to tell tales of his dungeon will only cause more adventurers to want to descend into a dungeon. Plus, Halaster loves adventurers. He loves watching them fighting through the dungeons just to be killed by his horrible puzzles and traps. Halaster loves tricking them into causing more conflict or, dealing with foes that he doesn't want to deal with. Like the clean house quest? So honestly, this one just makes no sense. Go forward, become Waterdeep Shadow Lord. On level 22 is an old noble Waterdeepian house who went mad from contacting the Far Realm. Nobles were accused of contacting other planes, which they did do, so an angry mob rallied to burn them at the stake. Families snuck out of their house and snuck into Undermountain. The level is now a dimension mirror of their original home. Halaster knows that the Shadow Dusks are a very powerful Waterdeepian house, and if they return, then they would have a lot of influence. Halaster wants them to return to the city of Waterdeep and reclaim the rightful place, so that he can rule Waterdeep from the shadows as, well, Waterdeep Shadow Lord. Goal 5. Find an apprentice. This goal is likely to affect the party more than any other. If you have any kind of spellcaster, wizards especially, Halaster is looking for an apprentice. If the party is no interest to him, Driven Fetch is always an option. Goal 6. Locate Jossira. Jossira Kesselharp was one of Halaster's original 7 apprentices, but she realized that Halaster and the other apprentices were slowly going insane. She tried to escape, but Halaster pulled her back into Undermountain. Jossira was locked in a prison where she turned herself into a living wish spell. Now she lurks the dungeon and controls the magical gates all over it. She knows the dangers of the lowest levels and will not allow weaker characters to pass through them, warning them that they are not ready. He fears Halaster but wants to destroy him. She doesn't want to talk to the party very long and is often scared that Halaster will find her. Halaster thinks that she's dead, but always has the idea in the back of his mind she's still alive. Now, for my last point is how to roleplay Halaster Blackcloak. Halaster can be used in many different ways. He may hide in the shadows and only contact people via his servants and emissaries from the Shadow Duskhold. This version of Halaster is okay, but falls into a common trope of villains. Players rarely interact with them until the final showdown, but there's still going to be a memorable main villain. But we can do better. They should feel like they know Halaster, from his goals to his personality, what he does in his free time. On the first level of the dungeon, the party should encounter Halaster's Scrying Eye. This is Halaster's first encounter with the party, but he's seen hundreds of adventures into the dungeon before. When they go down to level 2, the Arcane Chambers. This level is carved out for Halaster's apprentices. Side of it, a crazed mage named Jossira who has an unnerving love of lightning and has been turned into a lightning skull. This is one of my favorite encounters in the books, but let's make it better. In this room is Halaster Blackcloak, who's considering sending her to level 9, Dwemercore. When the party walks in, Halaster makes her an offer. If she can defeat the adventurers, she can go. Halaster will offer a party a sum of gold and magic items if they fight Jossira. Party loses, they are killed. Party wins, Halaster gives them a wood and crushes Jossira's skull. Halaster will chat with the party, and if there is a wizard in it, he'll offer them a new laboratory or a job as an apprentice now that Jossira is out of the picture. If I were you, have Halaster have a scale from 1 to 11, starting him off at 5. If they annoy Halaster, the scale goes down, while if they help him out, the scale slides up. The party's encounter with Halaster throughout the adventure. Have the party see him restocking rooms full of monsters or just taking a scroll down one of his many corridors. At the end of the adventure, Halaster may laugh as he prepares to destroy the party, or offer them a ruling place in Undermountain. It all depends. Well, that's the end of episode 1 of our descent into Undermountain, and it only gets worse from here. From sinister swamps to fire giant forges, we're in for a long haul. So if you enjoyed that video, please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day and long rest.